Hey guys, and welcome back to What If Soul. I'm your host, Broken Soul, and it's time for a new episode of What If Ash Could Start Over. But before we get started, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let's try and grow a community one sub at a time. So now, the recap. Where we last left off, Ash and Misty were making their way towards Celadon City. Upon making it to said city and going to the Pokemon Center where Ash could heal up his team, Ash and Misty were approached by another one of Ash's old rivals. Yup, a Miss Jeanette Fisher, whom, upon making their way toward Ash and Misty, threatened Ash, saying that he was not worthy to challenge Erica due to Ash being a womanizer back in the day. Way to go, Ash. Ash and Misty tried to explain to her that he's no longer like that, but she just wouldn't hear it, telling him that he is not worthy, nor will he ever be worthy to challenge Miss Erica, then walking away. Upon learning that Jeanette was taken in by Erica as her student, Ash determined to not only beat Erica in a match, but to show Jeanette that he is worthy to face her. The next day, as Ash was making his way toward the gym, he's actually stopped out in front by Jeanette. She says that she's challenging him to a battle, threatening that if he can't beat her, then he does not have the right to challenge Erica. Erica, then hearing this, actually relents, saying, "Very well then," setting up a new challenge for Ash, saying that he has to face off against Jeanette first in a 3-on-3 match before challenging her to a full 6-on-6 battle. And to everyone's surprise, Ash agrees. Let's now move on to the actual story, inside of the Celadon City Pokemon Gym. As soon as everyone makes their way inside the gym, Misty actually pulls Ash off to the side, telling him, "Ash, are you crazy? What are you thinking? Facing off against two opponents, one after the other? And even then, if you lose against Jeanette, you can't continue your journey." Ash, ever unyielding, actually grabs onto Misty's shoulders and looks her straight in the eye and says, "Misty, I need to do this. Not only do I need to be able to challenge Erica, but I need to show Jeanette that I'm no longer the person she thought I was. I need to show that I've changed. I've made mistakes in my past, and I want to do what I can to make those better. If that means I have to go through this extra hurdle, then I will." This shocks Misty, actually making her blush very, very red. Barely responding, just nodding her head going, "Okay." Trying to gain back her composure, she follows up with, "Right. At least promise me you'll be careful and use your brain a little bit." Ash, going back to his cocky attitude, just smiles, going, "Don't worry, I'll be perfectly fine," making his way back to the battlefield. Misty, making her way to the stands, thinking to herself, what was that just now? Back over at the battlefield, Jeanette and Erica are actually talking. Jeanette's actually very confident, going to this saying, "Just you wait, Miss Erica. Once I'm through with this womanizer, you'll never have to deal with him again." Erica just shaking her head, going, "Don't underestimate your opponent. He may surprise you in more ways than one," before taking her seat up in the stands next to Misty. Speaking of which, as soon as Erica sits down, the two girls start to talk with each other. Erica asking Misty how she's been and what's been going on with Ash as of late. Misty, again trying to get herself to calm down for a second, tells Erica, "Oh, everything's been going okay. Ash has been getting stronger and stronger, and he's been bringing out strategies I've never even thought of or heard of before. Pokemon I've never seen, and Pokemon I've ever even dreamed of meeting one day. He's gotten really strong in these past few years." Erica going, "And what of the two of you?" Misty's confused, saying, "What do you mean?" That's when Erica gets a small little smile on her face, going, "I saw you just now. How long you two been dating?" Misty, trying her best to bury the conversation, just shakes her hands, going, No, it's not like that. So what's going on with you and Jeanette? What's her problem exactly? Why does she hate Ash so much?" That's when Erica tries to explain to Misty that while Jeanette means well, she is just misguided. She's very, very prideful. After that battle with Ash, it just felt like she just wasn't worthy to be a trainer anymore. In fact, when she was coming through Celadon City, she was only passing through on her way back to her hometown. That's when I got to meet up with her. The two of us sat down and talked for a while, and honestly, I took pity upon her. I figured maybe I can do something to help teach her how to ease her anger and how to move on. Because after seeing what happened with Ash in my gym, the last time he came to challenge me, I figured, well, maybe I can do something to help her out, to show her that Ash isn't such a bad guy after all. Anyone who's willing to sacrifice their own safety for a Pokemon, they can't be bad in my book. So, I tried my best to train her. She's gotten stronger, a lot stronger, but she still has a long way to go in terms of maturing. Misty's actually impressed by this. But before the two girls can continue further, Tracy announces, "Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to start the match between Ash Ketchum of Palatown and Miss Jeanette Fisher. Please direct your attention toward the battlefield where the referee may get started." That's when the referee stands up, making her announcement. This will be a 3-on-3 Pokemon battle between Ash Ketchum Pallet Town, and Miss Jeanette Fisher, student of Gym Leader Erica. The battle will be finished when all 3 of either side's Pokemon are unable to battle. Furthermore, because this is not a gym, both sides may be able to substitute Pokemon. Any questions? Both sides shaking their heads. The ref then raises her flag, saying, "Alright, begin." Jeanette, holding up a Pokeball, throws it, saying, "Blossom, please." Jeanette's Blossom takes the battlefield, doing a little dance as it enters the battlefield. Ash is taking a minute to think. Okay, Blossom. Alright then. Pikachu, you're up first. Ash's partner takes the battlefield. That's when Jeanette makes the call. Alright, Blossom, now use Petal Dance. Blossom, without hesitation, launches petals straight for Pikachu. Ash telling Pikachu, "Quick, Pikachu, use Quick Attack. Use it to dodge out of the way." Pikachu, using Quick Attack, tries to get out of the way as quick as it can, dodging as many petals as possible. But Jeanette's ready for this, saying, "Blossom, now spread the Petal Blizzard out throughout the entire battlefield." Blossom, actually intensifying the Petal Blizzard, makes the attack much more engulfing for the entire battlefield, actually being able to hit Pikachu, knocking it back a little bit. Ash is actually both worried and impressed, saying, "Pikachu, you okay?" Pikachu's getting up, but it's good to go. Ash going, "Alright, let's try and show our own distance. Now, Pikachu, Electro Web." Pikachu launching an Electro Web, hoping to catch Blossom. But Jeanette tells Blossom, "Now, Blossom, like we practiced, dodge." Blossom actually is dancing around the Electro Webs. Jeanette really has found a good use for each of her Pokemon's styles and battling techniques. Back at the stands, Misty's asking, "Wait, what just happened?" That's when Erica informs Misty that's Jeanette's Blossom's battle style. Blossom loved to dance naturally, so Jeanette was able to use that to her advantage, allowing her free flow movements to be able to dodge almost any attack. If the opponent's not ready for it, then that Blossom will almost never be hurt. In fact, ever since Jeanette first started training with me, that Blossom has never had to go to a Pokemon Center once for injuries. Misty's actually very impressed, saying, "That can't be right. No Pokemon's that good." That's when Erica goes, "This is the reason why Jeanette is considered to be a fan favorite to win the Pokemon League this year. Or at least she was until Ash showed up. Jeanette has worked tirelessly with every single one of her Pokemon." Misty then wondering to herself, and this is a 3-on-3 match. What'll happen if it's a full 6-on-6 battle between her and Ash? Back down at the battlefield, Ash is getting a little frustrated, saying, "Alright then, Pikachu, let's get in close. Use Quick Attack." Pikachu using Quick Attack, moving in incredible speeds to get to a Blossom within a short amount of time. But Jeanette's ready for this, saying, "Blossom, continue." Blossom is just continuing to dance and dodge all around Pikachu, almost making it impossible for the mouse to hit upon the grass type. That's when Jeanette calls another attack, saying, "Now, Blossom, use Poison Powder." That's when Blossom begins to shake rapidly, releasing a cloud of poison around Pikachu. Pikachu gets hit by the poison, unfortunately. It's now on a timer, and Ash knows this. However, he's not panicking, saying, "Alright Pikachu, let's make this quick. Now, Iron Tail." Pikachu using Iron Tail tries to hit the Blossom as quick as it can, but it continues to dodge more and more and more. Until, at one point, Pikachu actually misses hitting the ground. This actually throws off Blossom for a second. Ash seeing that, and Pikachu too, the two of them locking eyes, they know what to do. Ash then calling out, "Now, Pikachu, with everything you've got, jump up high and slam down onto the ground with Iron Tail." Pikachu doing that exact thing, launches up in the air, smashing down on the ground with the Iron Tail. This knocks Blossom off her groove for a quick second, actually tripping it. That's when Ash goes, "Now, Quick Attack, get in close." Pikachu launching out a Quick Attack, hitting Blossom square in its midsection, launching it backwards. Ash not letting up though, saying, "Now, while it's in the air, use Electro Web to hold it in place." Pikachu launching out Electro Web, hits a Blossom. Jeanette's going, "No, Blossom!" Blossom hits the ground hard, still being surrounded by the Electro Web. That's when Ash calls out, "Now finish this! Use Quick Attack and Iron Tail! Use the combo move to knock it out, quickly!" Pikachu with the Quick Attack, getting in super close to where it's within a foot of Blossom, then swinging out its Iron Tail, getting ready to hit. That's when Jeanette gets a smile going, "Protect." Blossom protects against Pikachu's Iron Tail, knocking Pikachu back for a second. This completely blew off Ash and Pikachu. That's when Jeanette calls, "Now, while it's in close, Petal Dance." Blossom launching out another Petal Dance, hitting Pikachu square on. Because Pikachu's already exhausted and poisoned, this does massive amounts of damage. Pikachu goes flying back, skidding to a halt. That's when Ash goes, "Pikachu, can you keep going?" Pikachu is able to stand up, but you can tell all 4 of its legs are shaking. It can barely hold off that poison. Both Pikachu and Ash know there's only a few more turns left before Pikachu's done. That's when Ash goes, "Alright then, fine. We only have 1 shot left. Pikachu, now, Thunderbolt!" Pikachu, gathering as much electricity as it can, launches the Thunderbolt straight for the Grass-type Pokemon. That's when Jeanette calls for another Protect. Blossom protecting against Pikachu's attack, but Ash was hoping for this, saying yes. Jeanette going, what? Ash telling Pikachu, move in quick, one more time with quick attack. Pikachu running as quickly as it can. The second that protect goes down, Blossom is completely exposed for a second. Pikachu hitting Blossom with a quick attack, knocking Blossom back, knocking it out. That's when the ref makes the call. Blossom is unable to battle. Pikachu takes it. The crowd is cheering for Ash. Tracy doing his Tracy thing, just praises Ash, going, ladies and gentlemen, this was an amazing battle so far. Pikachu's been on the ropes before, but not this close. This was amazing. Ash was able to come back from this due to pure strategy alone. Our local hero boy, ladies and gentlemen. Man, I love Tracy. Back at the battle, Jeanette recalls Blossom, saying, thank you, Blossom. You did a fantastic job. You weakened Pikachu. Jeanette's about to take another Pokeball out, but Ash makes the call. Pikachu, return. Pikachu actually making his way back toward Ash, kind of shakingly actually. That's when Ash looks over at the ref and says, Pikachu's done. The ref just nods her head, going, Pikachu has been withdrawn from the battle. It's out as well. It's now down to 2-on-2. Jeanette's looking surprised at this, going, wait, you're not going to keep battling? Ash shaking his head, going, no, Pikachu's being heavily affected by the poison. It can barely stand up anymore. I'm not going to subject my partner to have to go through another battle in this condition. Jeanette is completely speechless by this, but Erica and Misty are both smiling. Erica going, so this is the legendary passion I've seen from Ash. Misty going, yeah, Ash has done this a few times before. There are some instances where Ash's Pokemon are not able to continue any further due to injury. So because of that, Ash withdraws them. He actually gains a lot of respect because of that. Erica with a little sheepish grin going, has he also gained your admiration? Misty just ignoring her with the blush again. Back down at the battlefield, Ash takes out a Pokeball and so does Jeanette. The ref making the call. Will both trainers please call out their next Pokemon? That's when Jeanette calls out, very well then, you might recognize this Pokemon. Let's go, Victreebel! Jeanette's pitcher plant Pokemon makes its way to the battlefield. Ash saying aloud, is that the same Victreebel from last time? Jeanette nodding her head in the affirmative. Yep, I told you, me and my Pokemon have gotten so much stronger. You're not gonna win this battle. You're not gonna disgrace Miss Erica. Ash is getting frustrated. She won't let this go. Alright then. This might throw off my strategy for Erica, but I have to do it. Let's go, Staraptor! Ash's Sinnoh Flying type takes the battlefield. It's ready to go. Spreading its wings, calling out mightily. It's ready for battle, no matter who the opponent is. Misty's completely surprised. I never knew Ash had a Staraptor. Erica asking Misty, wait, you don't know about Ash's Pokemon? Misty shaking her head. Like I said, there are several Pokemon I've never seen before. I guess he has a lot more tricks up his sleeve than I thought. Erica just nodding her head going, well, couples do tend to have secrets. Erica just looking up saying, it's very majestic looking. Let's see how it battles. Before they get started, Tracy makes another call. Well, would you look at this? Ash's mighty Staraptor has flown in all the way from the Sinnoh region and is ready to take on Miss Jeanette Fisher and her very strong looking Victreebel. Let's see how this battle plays out, folks. The referee then looking at both trainers going, alright, Staraptor versus Victreebel. Battle, begin. Ash making the first move this time going, alright, Staraptor, now, use Aerial Ace. Staraptor moving insanely fast, even for a flying type Pokemon, heading straight for Victreebel, hitting Victreebel directly on target. Victreebel just skids back, but it doesn't look like that move did that much damage. Jeanette smiling going, Ash, did you forget what I just said? Me and all my Pokemon have gotten so much stronger since last time, and we're gonna show you. Ash is actually surprised at this, going, wait, did Victreebel not even feel that? Jeanette not even answering, saying, now, Victreebel, Leaf Storm. That's when Victreebel launches out Leaf Storm at almost point blank range for Staraptor. Staraptor gets hit hard, flying back, hitting the ground, skidding back. Ash going, Staraptor, are you okay? Staraptor getting right back up, it's ready to go. Looking at Victreebel with determination. It came to take names. Ash going, alright then. Staraptor, let's get some distance. Now, use Air Slash. Staraptor launching out Air Slash after Air Slash, hitting Victreebel as best it can. A few of them do hit, but again, it hardly does a thing to Victreebel. Ash wondering, what is it with this Victreebel? So stubborn. That's when back at the stands, Erica says aloud, Victreebel and Jeanette have worked tirelessly on their defense and special defense. Essentially, Victreebel has become a sponge for damage. Missy looking over, does that mean it can't feel a thing? Erica shaking her head, not necessarily. It can still feel the damage, but it's just not showing it as much. I guess you could say it's learned how to keep its poker face throughout the entirety of the battle. Misty's actually impressed. Well then how do we know when it's knocked out? Erica not even answering, just focusing back on the battle. Tracy then giving his 2 cents. Ladies and gentlemen, Is Ash even doing anything? Is Staraptor even doing anything? This Victreebel looks like it's made out of stone. What's going on? This frustrates Ash as he thinks to himself, come on, why aren't we doing any damage to this thing? Alright, let's try that move. Now, Staraptor, we gotta get close. Use Aerial Ace, quickly. Staraptor moving as quick as it can, heading straight for Victreebel. It makes its way, hitting its mark. That's when Ash calls up a follow-up. Now, while you're in close combat, Staraptor just throwing its wings, its legs, its beak, everything it can. It's trying its best to knock Victreebel out with as much power as possible. But Victreebel, while it is still feeling the damage, it does not show it at all in its face. Just looking at Staraptor blankly, as if it's saying, come on. All I can feel is the wind. Jeanette, while she has the same poker face, inside she's thinking to herself, Victreebel can't hold out much longer. We have to finish this now. Victreebel, quick! Use Toxic! Victreebel then launching out Toxic Sludge, right for Staraptor, effect hit Staraptor. Staraptor is now poisoned. Ash going, no! Staraptor! Staraptor's perfectly fine, but now, just like Pikachu, it's on a timer as well. Staraptor, hurry! Air Slash one more time while you're in close! Staraptor launching out an Air Slash, but before the air can hit Victreebel, that's when Jeanette calls out. Now, Victreebel, quick, Leaf Storm, push it away. Victreebel launching out a Leaf Storm, actually pushing Staraptor away for a second, having it hit the ground hard. Staraptor's barely shaking as it gets up. Ash calling out, Staraptor, hang in there, stay strong. Staraptor's getting up, spreading its wings. It's ready to keep going, although it looks like it's barely able to stand up anymore from that last attack. That's when Jeanette calls out to Ash. Ash, I told you, you're not getting past me. Victreebel, now! Hyper Beam. Ash and Staraptor are completely in shock from this. Ash going, no! Staraptor, quick! Up in the air! Try and fly and get out of the way! Staraptor making its way up into the air, flying with as much speed as it possibly can. It tries to get some distance so it can't get hit by the Hyper Beam, but that's when Victreebel launches it out. This strong beam of power makes its way straight for Staraptor, getting ready to hit it with everything it's got. Staraptor's trying to dodge it as quick as it can, but it's slowing down. That beam's gonna catch it. That's when Ash calls out the final desperate move. Alright then, fine. Staraptor, use Brave Bird! Let's finish this as best we can! Staraptor, surrounding itself with absolute fire, makes its way straight for Victreebel. By the time Staraptor is within inches of Victreebel, the Hyper Beam hits it directly. However, Staraptor isn't done yet. It's inching its way forward by pure determination alone, finally hitting Victreebel, producing a large dust cloud. The two Pokemon are standing there in the middle of the arena. Both trainers are looking in awe. The entire crowd is on the edge of its seats, wondering what's going on. Tracy then announcing, ladies and gentlemen, that was intense, but I can't see what's going on. Who will be left to fight? And who will be down one more Pokemon? That's when the smoke clears up. They see it. Both Pokemon are knocked out again. It's a double knockout. The referee raises both flags. Both Pokemon are unable to battle. It's a draw. Ash and Jeanette both return their Pokemon, thanking their two respective partners. Misty and Erica are both just in complete shock. The entire crowd is cheering. Meanwhile, Misty tells Erica, it's another double knockout. So what'll happen if it's a complete tie? Will you still accept Ash's challenge? Erica, still not saying a thing, just completely focused on this battle. She really wants to see what happens with her student and her would-be challenger. That's when the ref makes the call again. Please, bring out your final Pokemon. Ash is thinking to himself, okay, I have to think. I'm very limited on my options. I have only one Pokemon left to battle against Jeanette. Then I have to go to the transfer machine and get a whole new team ready for Erica. Who can I use? That's when Ash reaches for one of his Pokeballs. Holding it in his hand, he's thinking to himself, this might work. But before he gets the chance to do anything, he hears screaming from the other side of the battlefield. No! No! This can't be happening. You shouldn't be doing this well. You aren't worthy to fight Miss Erica. Everybody in the gym is looking over, seeing Jeanette looking furious. She refuses to acknowledge Ash as somebody worthy of her praise or worthy to fight Erica. Ash is not saying a thing. He just stands there determined, holding a Pokeball. He doesn't need to say a thing because the look on his face says it for him. Let my skill show you. But Jeanette is not seeing it. Instead, she is just getting more and more mad, just spouting off nonsense about how he's not worthy to battle against Miss Erica. He's just some lowly boy. This, that, and whatever. That's when Jeanette finally finishes off her monologue by saying, "I'll show the world. I'll show Kanto. I will show Miss Erica that you aren't worthy." Before she holds up her own Pokeball, saying, "It's all up to you now. Scizor, finish this off!" Jeanette's Scizor makes its way to the battlefield. It is strong, confident, and you can tell this Pokemon has been trained insanely well for battle. It is ready. Jeanette, looking over at Scizor, tells her faithful blood companion, "Scizor, I need your help. This boy is not worthy to battle against Miss Erica. We need to stop him right here, right now." Scizor acknowledges it, but you can tell that even it is concerned for its trainer's well-being. That's when the ref looks over at Ash going, "Trainer, would you please bring out your final Pokemon so we may begin the battle?" Ash, looking stoic as possible, Pokeball in hand, that's when he makes his final call, but not before saying, "Jeanette, I hear what you're saying. I apologize completely for the way I behaved with Erica before. I apologize if I hurt you that badly in our last battle. But you are an amazing trainer. Erica chose right in making you her student, just how I know I'm making the right choice in wanting to battle against her. But it's obvious you're not going to hear me out. So, I'm going to let this next Pokemon do the talking for me. Originally, I didn't want to bring him out here for this battle. But, I'm going to show you that if I can win this battle with this guy, then it proves that I am worthy. Let's go, Riolu!" That's when Ash's Aura Pokemon makes its way to the battlefield. Riolu is ready for a fight. Misty is, however, very surprised, saying aloud, "Riolu? Why would you bring him out? He's not ready." Erica looking over at Misty, "When did Ash catch a Riolu?" That's when Misty explains that Ash actually had the egg for Riolu, but it didn't hatch until after his battle with Misty ended. This actually shocks Erica, going, "Wait, are you telling me that Ash is essentially sending out a baby for battle?" Misty kind of explains further that not necessarily. Riolu has actually been in several battles before. In fact, when we had a run-in with Team Rocket a while back, Riolu was very instrumental in helping us locate Ash. Riolu is a lot stronger than it looks, but it still lacks a lot of experience. I'm just surprised at why Ash would bring it out now. That's when Erica elaborates. "I've heard stories about Riolu and Lucario. They're known as the Aura Guardians. However, I've also heard that not a lot of trainers are able to tame these Pokemon, or train them at all. That unless somebody is almost pure of heart with justice in their hearts, that Riolu and Lucario will almost never obey." Misty is actually pretty surprised at this, going, "Wow, I didn't know that they were that kind of Pokemon. And Ash has a Riolu right now? That's pretty amazing." Erica going on further to say, that actually might explain why he's wanting to battle Jeanette with it. What do you mean? Well, think about it. Ash is going into this battle with a Riolu, relatively a newly hatched Riolu, who has very little experience. However, he's thinking this: if he can beat Jeanette with an inexperienced Pokemon, but at the same time a Pokemon that has full trust in him, and beat her with that Pokemon, then that should show Jeanette that Ash is worthy of her. However, my student is very stubborn. I don't believe that she'll see it that way. But we'll have to wait and see how this battle plays out. Back down on the battlefield, the referee raises both flags, saying, "Alright, this will be the final matchup against Ash Ketchum of Palatown and Miss Jeanette Fisher. Battle begin!" Without any hesitation, Jeanette calls out to Scizor. "Scizor, now! Air Slash! End this quick!" Scizor launching out blasts of air straight for Riolu, but Ash calls out, "Riolu, quick dodge out of the way!" Riolu then rolling out of the way, dodging the attack. Ash ordering it to use quick attack. Riolu running as quick as it can, moving straight for Scizor, but that's when Jeanette calls, "Too slow! Now, Scizor, double team!" Scizor multiplying itself into several different clones surrounding Riolu. Riolu beginning to panic, but that's when Ash calls out, "Riolu, I need you to calm down. Focus your energy. Use counter whenever Scizor attacks." That's when Riolu stops for a second and closes its eyes, using its aura to sense where Scizor is going to come from. But that's when Jeanette Fisher calls out, "Now, Scizor, bullet punch!" Scizor moving with incredible speeds, getting ready to punch Riolu, but that's when Ash sees it. "Riolu, now!" Riolu using counter actually blocks the bullet punch, giving back its own attack right for Scizor's face, doing massive damage, having it skid backwards. Jeanette has been slowly losing her temper this entire battle, but now it's come to the forefront. Jeanette's just screaming out command after command, saying, Scizor, get up, quick, use Bullet Punch one more time. Scizor getting up quickly, moving toward Riolu, using Bullet Punch to strike at it again, landing a few hits on Riolu. Riolu was sent flying, Ash calling out, no, Riolu, quick, use Vacuum Wave, try and keep some distance. Riolu launching out Vacuum Wave after Vacuum Wave, trying to hit Scizor the best they can, but Scizor's actually dodging it with tremendous speeds. Jeanette calling out, now Scizor, Air Slash, keep some distance. That's when Ash calls out, Riolu, use Vacuum Wave, use it to make some distance for yourself as well. The two Pokemon are launching out Vacuum Wave after Air Slash, going back and forth, just doing their best to try and keep their distances. It's almost like it's a shootout between these two. That's when Ash calls out, now Riolu, Quick Attack. Riolu switching from Vacuum Wave to Quick Attack, moving in between each of the Air Slashes, but Jeanette's ready for this. She calls out to Scizor, now Scizor, Close Combat. Scizor, moving with the grace of a martial artist, attacks Riolu with Close Combat. Riolu's trying its best to dodge, but a few hits are getting in, doing some serious damage. Ash calling out, Riolu, Metal Claw! Riolu, glowing spikes off the back of its hands, kind of like Wolverine almost, launches itself towards Scizor. The two Pokemon are going back and forth. Scizor using his claws and legs to hit Riolu with massive damage, while Riolu using its claws to either dodge, parry, or do its own attacks against Scizor. The two Pokemon are going back and forth. It looks like a scene out of Dragon Ball Z. Meanwhile, while all this is going on, Tracy is trying to give the play-by-play, but even he is going, ladies and gentlemen, this is incredible. I can barely keep up with my eyes. It's almost like I'm looking at two blurs of absolute power. But who will come out on top of this battle? Will Scizor beat Riolu and stop Ash in his tracks from competing in the Pokemon League? Or will Riolu triumph against Scizor, allowing for Ash to finally challenge Miss Erica for his 5th badge? Let's see what happens, folks. Don't you guys just love how much Tracy gets into this stuff? Back down on the battlefield, as the two Pokemon are going back and forth and starting to slow down, Ash calls out, now, Riolu, Quick Attack, get behind Scizor. Riolu, moving as quick as it can, getting right behind Scizor, into his blind spot. Jeanette's about to call for a Bullet Punch, but that's when Ash calls out, now, Vacuum Wave. Riolu, hitting Scizor right in the back with a Vacuum Wave, sends it sprawling onto the ground, face first. Jeanette's starting to panic, going, no, Scizor, get up, quickly. Scizor is trying to get up, but is getting up shakily. Those last few attacks are really doing some hard damage. Ash, in the meantime, is being calm and collected, telling Riolu to do the same. Riolu is just breathing heavily, but is trying to calm itself down and get some reprieve while Scizor's getting back up. This actually agitates Jeanette so much more, to the point where she's basically just demanding that Scizor gets up or else. Scizor's doing its best, but like I said, it is shakily at best. Erica calls out for another Bullet Punch, but Scizor's moving a lot more slower, being sluggish in its movements. It tries to attack it as best it can, but it's only getting maybe 1 or 2 licks in, and even then, they're being perfectly dodged or countered. Ash is just telling out Riolu, Riolu, take your time, calm down, try to block whatever you can. Riolu, understanding perfectly, actually using its aura to sense Scizor's intent on where it wants to attack, actually using that to its advantage in order to dodge, block, parry, and counter. Back up at the stands, the entire crowd is completely moved by this. They're seeing Jeanette, their local hero girl, being completely dominated by Ash. She is losing her mind and she is going crazy just because this guy is staying calm. While on the other hand, they're seeing their hero of Kanto, Ash, just being calm and collected and stoic, like that of a true champion. And you can hear murmurs and whispers saying, that is insanely impressive. Why is Ash not doing anything? He's being super calm and collected. It's like watching a master at work. Just comment after comment. This gets the attention of Erica and Misty. Erica looking over at Misty going, well, it looks like Ash has really matured and really become a stoic man in his own right. Misty saying, yeah, he's really come a long way. It's very inspiring, to be completely honest. That's when Erica gets a little bit of a sheepish grin on her face going, really? How inspiring. Misty blushes at this, not wanting to comment, saying, let's just focus on the battle, please. Erica just giggling to herself, going, alright, fair enough. Back to the battle, you can tell, only a few more hits left and this battle is done. Jeanette is just losing it completely. Scizor is just flailing about like a dead Magikarp, whereas Riolu is staying calm and collected, almost as if it's in the middle of a training spar with Dratini. Ash calls over to Jeanette saying, Jeanette, Please, stop this. This gets Jeanette's attention going, don't you tell me to do anything. Like I said before, you're not worthy. Ash going, don't be blind. Look at Scizor. This gets Jeanette's attention, looking over at Scizor, and she sees that Scizor is just completely being outclassed right now by Riolu, saying, what are you talking about? Scizor is just fine. Ash going a little bit more harsher, going, don't be dumb. It's obvious you're losing your temper because of your own vendetta against me, yet your Pokemon is suffering for it. I could tell after those first few attacks that Scizor is a very powerful Pokemon, but because his trainer is being so obsessive and just so vindictive against her opponent, not focusing, it's making your Pokemon suffer. Look at Scizor right now. It's exhausted. It doesn't know what to do. It's just following commands blindly. You're giving out commands blindly. Yet look at Riolu. It's only had a few battles under its belt right now. It's very inexperienced, and yet it is dominating this battle because I'm staying calm, collected, and focused on what I want to do. Jeanette, I've told you before, I am sorry that you don't like me for the person I used to be, but times have changed. I have changed. I've matured. I want to show the world that I can be the very best, like no one ever was. Jeanette, please, forfeit this match. We don't have to go any further. We don't have to make our Pokemon suffer anymore. As Ash is saying this, Scizor is actually tripping over itself, being brought down to one knee, completely exhausted. Meanwhile, Riolu is just panting slightly. It's a little bit tired itself, but it can keep going. It's one tough Pokemon. That's when it finally happens. Erica stands up, screaming over to Jeanette, saying, Jeanette, do you finally see what I was trying to get at? Jeanette, you are my student. Believe me, I am very appreciative, and I do love that you are this dedicated and this devoted to fighting for my honor. But I never asked you to do that. You never had a need to fight for my honor. Because this entire time, I've been trying to get you to fight for your own honor. That's what I've been trying to teach you. You're an incredibly powerful and talented trainer in your own right. But because of that one loss you had, but because of the fact that you were not able to see your own flaws and put the blame on somebody else's shoulders, you robbed yourself and your Pokemon of that experience you needed. Yes, you've gotten stronger. Yes, you're still just as talented as before, but you've allowed your ego and your feelings to talk for you. You need to let go. Jeanette wants to argue with this. She wants to say something, but the words don't come out. Instead, tears fall from her eyes as she actually falls to her knees and says, I forfeit the match. We're done. Scizor actually is surprised at this, making its way to its trainer, kneeling before her, as if it's trying to comfort her. Jeanette just hugs Scizor, saying she's sorry for putting it through what she put it through, and even apologizing to Ash as well. But that's when the ref makes the call. Due to forfeit, the winner of this match is Ash Ketchum of Pallet Town. He is now eligible to battle against Miss Erica for his 5th badge. The crowd is cheering for Ash and doing a small standing ovation for Jeanette. Speaking of Jeanette, as soon as she apologizes and as soon as she's able to, she walks over to where Ash is at, shaking his hand and bowing out of respect, saying, I'm sorry, Ash. I was wrong. You are worthy to battle against Miss Erica. And if you're willing, I'd like you to battle me again someday. Ash, shaking her hand, agreeing. Yes, I would love that as well. This puts a smile on Jeanette's face. But before the two of them can continue, Erica is actually standing in the middle of the battlefield going, Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it yourself. Ash has won this battle against my student Jeanette, and now he'll be battling against me for the right to earn his 5th badge. But before he does, he needs to transfer some new Pokemon to his team so he can battle me in a full 6-on-6. Jeanette, would you please take him to the next room so we can transfer some Pokemon? We'll be back in roughly 15 minutes, everyone. Intermission.
And that's where my call for now, guys. I know, I'm sorry. I know you guys didn't want to just see an episode of just Ash versus Jeanette, but there's too much recording and the video got way too big. So this is going to be its own thing of 16, and then tomorrow will be episode 17. Now I know what you're thinking. Why are you releasing it one day after the other? Well, I need a little bit of some extra time for the next part because this one was only a 3-on-3 match. Tomorrow is going to be a full 6-on-6 match, so that's going to take a little bit more time. Sorry guys. Anyway, just think of it now as an intermission, okay? So let me know what you guys think. Ash got to battle Jeanette as fiercely as he could, showing her exactly who he is and how much he's changed. Jeanette finally came around, and hey, we finally got to see Ash battle with Riolu, so that was pretty cool too. And not to mention, what's going on with him and Misty? All questions will be answered. Possibly, if I remember. Anyway guys, until next time, this is Broken Soul saying, may your souls be ever bright. I love you guys. Bye.